Your agent just hit its 40th iteration on a task that should have taken 3 steps. It's rereading the same document, recalling the same tool, burning tokens and your API budget while producing absolutely nothing useful. And the worst part? Nobody told you this would happen when you shipped it. Infinite loops are the dirty secret of autonomous agents. The whole promise of an agent is that it reasons, acts, observes, and repeats until the job is done. But until the job is done is doing an enormous amount of work in that sentence. When an agent can't tell that it's already solved a problem, or it misreads a tool's output, or it gets stuck deciding between 2 equally plausible next steps, it doesn't gracefully give up. It loops. Forever. Or at least until your rate limit saves you. So how do these frameworks actually stop the chaos? LangChain's answer is deliberately blunt. Hard limits. Every agent executor ships with a max_iterations parameter and a max_execution_time cap. Hit either ceiling and the agent halts, returning whatever it has. It's a circuit breaker, not a cure. You can set max_iterations to 15, and no matter how confused your agent gets, it physically cannot spin past that number. The philosophy here is defensive. Assume things will go wrong and put a wall in front of the runaway train. But LangChain's real evolution is LangGraph, and this is where the loop problem gets treated as an architecture question instead of a safety valve. You define your agent as an explicit graph of nodes and edges. The loops become visible, named cycles that you control with conditional edges. A node checks a condition and decides whether to route back or move forward. You add a recursion limit at the graph level, and because the state is explicit and inspectable, you can actually see why it's looping, which node keeps firing, what state keeps repeating, instead of staring at opaque logs. CrewAI comes at it from the opposite direction. Its whole model is a team of specialized agents with defined roles, and that structure itself discourages aimless looping. Each agent has a specific goal, a backstory, and a bounded set of tools. Instead of one omniscient agent thrashing through every possibility, you get a researcher who researches, a writer who writes, and a manager who delegates. CrewAI also enforces limits, max_iter per agent, max_RPM to throttle requests, and its sequential and hierarchical processes create a natural flow that ends. When the last task in the sequence finishes, the crew stops. There's no ambiguous, "Am I done yet?" hanging in the air. Here's the honest comparison. If you want granular, surgical control over every cycle and you're building something complex and stateful, LangGraph gives you the scalpel, but you'll write more code and think harder about your state machine. If you want to stand up a working multi-agent workflow fast, with sane defaults that prevent the worst runaway behavior out of the box, CrewAI gets you there with far less ceremony. Neither one magically makes your agent smart enough to know when it's finished. They just give you different tools to bound the damage. And that's the real lesson. Loops aren't a bug you fix once. They're a failure mode you design against. Set your iteration caps. Add explicit termination conditions. Log your agent's state so you can see the loop forming before it costs you. Both frameworks hand you the guardrails. Whether you install them is on you. Tomorrow I'm breaking down the exact prompt patterns that make an agent recognize when its task is actually complete. The reasoning fix that stops loops before any hard limit ever kicks in. Subscribe so you don't miss it.